The Philippines is a nation on the move. Every year, 1.5 million people leave the country to escape poverty and find jobs overseas. Today, there's an estimated 10 million Filipinos working abroad, who send home more than $20 billion a year. But very little of this remittance money is saved or invested. Most is spent on daily necessities and building more comfortable houses. Here in Mabini, south of Manila, 15% of the population works abroad. It's known as Little Italy due to its transformation by the migrants who now live there. They turned this former farming community into a prosperous-looking village in just one generation. Rolando Paduma works as a doorman in Rome. On a visit home, he says he's proud of the changes.
Now everything's fine here. We have well-built houses. It's not like before. Back then, when the typhoon struck, everybody would be gone.
But everything is not as it appears. Many of these villas are empty. With no one farming here anymore, there are few jobs available, and without money saved, the owners cannot afford to come home.
Before we used to be an agricultural town, but right now I would say that agriculture here is virtually dead. The dependence here became too dependent on foreign remittance. So much so that if there is a crisis in Europe, there is also a crisis here in the municipality of Mabini, Batangas.
This is a great concern for Attica, an organization that works to alleviate the social impact of migration.
It would be very difficult for the overseas Filipinos to be able to come home, return and reintegrate successfully. Because if the family does not have any income, they are just dependent on the remittance. The moment the migrant goes back home, they do not have any income and they do not have any training to be involved in any other enterprises.
Hoping to change the situation, Attica works with the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development, back here in Rome, to provide financial education courses and investment opportunities for Filipinos. These migrant workers are learning about the benefits of saving and budgeting. They're encouraged to start their own businesses or use their money for long-term investments in agriculture. Flora Ventura and Charito Basa are Filipino workers who took part in the financial education program and are now training others. Both of them have invested in a poultry farm near Mabini. Run as a community cooperative, the farm is financed by over 1,000 overseas workers. The eggs produced are sold in local markets. Investors receive a minimum guaranteed 6% return on their money every year.
This is my very first certificate of investment to the egg layer farm, but I have 2 others at home.
When I received my first certificate, I felt I'm economically confident. There's something that gives us some income. It gives us more security of returning home because we won't be a burden to our children and we have something to start with.
Investments like this are not only creating personal wealth, they're creating jobs, which will one day help to make migration a choice rather than a necessity.